Shalom, shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to get into a brief lesson, Lord willing, briefly touching on this article I came across a day or so ago, talking to the miracles in the worst times ever, that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is going to bring to the planet Earth. And of course, we understand this. It's of the will of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, being that at the end of this man, Esau's rulership, it must go out with a bang. Okay, and he's going to come forth with levels of transgression, levels of evil. Okay, that's going to be pretty much justify the judgment that comes upon him. Okay, now you have the world being led to believe that this AI technology that this man's pushing in the form of the quantum computer and the madness that he's doing in the lab, gene editing, all right, and via using AI technology, okay, is being set up as a god, is what it's being set up as. All right, Esau is setting up AI as the god of the planet Earth. Okay, that's why that charagma, okay, which you can read about in Revelations 13 and 16, okay, that mark, okay, it's an idolatrous image, okay, because it's going to be made into a god. And this is what Esau is doing. There's a book, I brought it out a couple of times. It's called a Human Compatible. Okay, I recommend you, Akiyam and Akwab, look into it. And it pretty much taps into Esau's approach towards AI and how if successful, okay, it can grant them access to immortality, man. Okay, being that this man's going to be able to download your conscience into a computer. But anyways, hey, this is where we are. This is where we are, man. And you have men that say that they're men of the Lord, and they're standing on all 10 toes with the Bible in their hand, but they're not bringing out these heavy prophecies, man. All right, these things need to be talked about, man. Esau's wiggling around doing all types of wickedness, man, pushing forth his agenda, all right, erecting his fourth industrial revolution, and you got men not even talking about it. But instead, they want to have debates, all right? They want to link up with Vocab Malone and pretty much vain jangle and keep beating the air. But here it is. The devil that the Bible speaks of is working a work, okay, that's going to bring the worst time that the planet has ever seen, man. You see, we're supposed to prophesy, man, as we've been commanded here. Let's get this first. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy," which prophecy, all right, meaning to say before, is something that our power stands on, okay, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. See, there's no other God on the earth of these idols, of these heathen, which are all idols, that are capable of doing that. All right, you're not going to find prophecy in the Quran. You're not going to find prophecy in Egyptology. You're not going to find prophecy in Pan-Africanism. Okay, you're not going to find prophecy in Buddhism. All right, you're not going to find prophecy in Islam. You're not going to find prophecy there, man. Which I mentioned the Quran. But needless to say, you're not going to find prophecy there, man. Okay? Here it is. They coin Muhammad the prophet, but he ain't got one prophecy. No, man. Yahweh, the God of the Bible, okay? And his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. This is the true power, okay, of prophecy. You see, Yahweh being that source of prophecy, man. And how do we know that? Yahweh Shai himself said his doctrine is not his, man, but his that sent him. You see? As a matter of fact, when we go to the book of Isaiah, real quick, is it 46? Khan, the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, and verse 9, verse 10 is the point, and it reads, remember the former things of old, for I am power, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me, right? There's no other omnipotent power but Yahweh. Okay, remember, Yahweh Shai is the begotten son of Yahweh. You see, he was brought forth by Yahweh. Yahweh birthed him, man. Okay, Yahweh is that source, man. He is that omnipotent power. His incorruptible spirit, pursuing the wisdom of Solomon. All right, what's that? 12:1. It's in all things, man. Okay, look it. And this is what our power is capable of doing. And this is what he do. And he speaks through his servants, the prophets, declaring the end from the beginning. That's prophecy. You see, that's the definition of prophecy in a nutshell. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. Okay, saying my counsel shall stand. Okay, and I will do all my pleasures. And the Lord's counsel was made up of his servants, the prophets. You see? And he uses his prophets to bring forth his will. They speak it into existence, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The foolishness of preaching, man. And this is how the Lord set things up. Let's get one more to prove it for you naysayers out there. The book of Hosea, chapter 12, and verse 10, and it reads, I have also spoken by the prophets, man. And I have multiplied visions, man. You see that? Which is prophecies. And use similitudes, right? Because all the prophets seen the similar prophecies. They seen them in their own way. They describe them in their own way, but it leads to the same outcome, man. Okay? Look it. By the ministry of the prophets, this is how the Lord is dealing. All right? And the flock of his pasture are men. Okay? For you Eves out there. All right? You disobedient. I don't need a man. I can get it on my own. Okay? Eves, man. Starting with the nigger woman. Trickling all the way down to the Issacharite woman. All right? Which is the so-called Mexican. And all you women of the tribes in between. Okay? That are operating under the agenda of Eve. All right? Judah. The so-called nigger woman. Okay? You operating under her energy. But she's operating under the energy of Esau. Being that they're joined at the hip. Listen. The ministry of the prophets are men. All right, being that that's the flock of his pasture. You see that 144,000 spoken of in Revelations are men. Revelation 7, those are men, all men. Okay? And contrary to popular belief, a man of the Lord is going to be a covering, man. From the tempest, man, when it comes, man, the time of trouble, man. And the majority of you women are going to find that out the hard way. All right? When you're trotting down like the Maya in the street, going back to the point. Okay? Prophecy, man, is how our power operates. And we are to speak prophecy. Okay, so we're supposed to measure the times diligently, man. You see, as commanded, utilizing prophecy in real-time events to come to the conclusion to where we stand at a current time. And again, the servants of the Lord, the prophets, will be capable of doing that. Okay? Men playing prophet won't have that spirit on them. Right? Now let's continue on here. 2nd Ezra 15:1 again. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. You see that? Showing you that what? It's the Lord's will. We're not speaking our own vain story. No, this is what the Lord wants us to say, man. Okay, the Lord controls the tongue, right? And causes them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, right? The Bible, okay? And no, the Bible hasn't been rewritten time and time again. No, there's different translations, okay? Ultimately, the KJV being the closest to what we need real time. It's the closest. The Old English. It was translated by the beloved King David, by the beloved King James, excuse me. Okay, and his council of men. Through the Spirit, they did it, right? And efforts for us to have it now. Okay, and efforts for us to have the Bible now, for us to be able to do what we're doing now. That had to happen. That was the will of the Lord. But a mere mortal wouldn't understand that. They're looking at it like, oh, the Bible, there's all different type of versions. The Bible was rewritten many times over, man. Isn't that the original? Not understanding that the words of the Lord are pure, man. Pure words. All right, purified 7 times, man, as it tells us in Psalms 12. You see, but those of the initiated understand that and they stand on it. You see, let's continue on. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right, you unbelievers don't move us. You see, our faith is established, man, rooted and founded in Yahushai. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man, right? And when the storm comes rolling in, a lot of you, Jake, are going to get blown to the side, man. Okay, now we're coming into a time the world has never seen before, man. All right, Esau's not playing games. Look it. Check this article out. This is from Zero Hedge. It's from April 19th, 2025. The title reads, Cyborg 1.0. World's first RoboCop debuts with facial recognition and 360-degree camera vision, man. Okay? And now they got him on the police force, making it by pretty much dressing it up, like this is a safety net. And that's how Esau moves. He's real slick and cunning. Now, mind you, this is in Thailand, but all these nations are tied in. Remember, they're coming into a new world order. One global dominion, see? So all these heathen elites are on the same, they're on the same frequency. You see, and ultimately Esau's controlling the chess pieces on the chessboard when it comes to these heathen nations. So he's able to start, gradually exercising the plan any way he wants. Okay? Remember, he's been given that world dominion. He has the fatness of the earth. So all you're seeing is, Esau's corrupt plan being brought forth in Thailand, man, is what you're witnessing. Okay? Because how we know that? You got the devil himself in this article. I'm going to play this little video right here. Your boy Elon Musk. Watch what he's talking about. Right? Let's get a little bit more of this article. And the lessons, I'm pretty much going to, it's all straight to the point. Right? Just giving warning. Watch out, Jake. Hey, we creeping up on that time. Right? Thailand has debuted the world's first RoboCop designed to detect and prevent crime with what? Advanced AI. You see? So it's all AI. Everything's AI. Artificial intelligence. And this is how Esau's going to establish his synthetic immortality, which is not going to be established. It's going to be a failed mission. You see? But it is going to be attempted. Equipped with 360-degree cameras for eyes, the cutting-edge cyborg maintains constant surveillance with real-time monitoring, man. Okay? And ultimately, when this charagma is pushed, They're not gonna have to use a RoboCop to surveil you, man. You're gonna be being surveilled at all times, being that technology is gonna be inside you, man. Okay, they're gonna know how hard you're breathing with that device in you, man. Look at the RoboCop named Police Colonel Nikapatham Plod Pi, meaning Nikapatham is safe, was unveiled during the Songkran Festival in Nakhon Pathom province on Wednesday. The debut was announced via a Facebook post, all right, by the Royal Thai Police. You see? And ultimately, hey, you people are going to be walking around looking like cyborgs, man. All right, as this man gets more advanced with this technology, all right, people that are, paraplegic, he's going to be able to put robotic limbs on them. They already got that, but it's going to be more advanced, Esau's getting to the point where he's going to be able to throw a whole lower end on you. You know what I mean? You got no legs or whatever. You threw at the hip. Esau will be able to throw a whole lower end on you. Here it is. You walking around. You got prosthetic legs, man. Robotic, man. You moving, walking. You can jump 10 feet high and run 30 miles an hour, man. You see? And this is the type of stuff that he's going to be pushing. You see? Which is going into those miracles, man, you read about in Revelations 13. All right, look at this. The RoboCop is also able to detect weapons such as knives and wooden batons. In neighboring China, humanoid robots have started supporting police patrols, man. So they're already out there, man. So it's already going down. What are you niggas doing? Okay, you Jake out there playing around, still trying to be a rapper. You pushing 50. You still trying to rap? See, this is why the scriptures say the Lord's going to come like a thief in the night. Okay, while you Jacob playing, Evil E's planning and plotting. Okay, let's go. Hey, and this is fair use. All right, this is for edificational purposes only, educational purposes only, and for edification. There's no, I'm not making any monetary gain. All right, with this article. All right, let's blow this up.
Make about 5,000 Optimus. So this year we hopefully will be able to make about 5,000 Optimus robots. We're technically we're aiming for enough parts to make 10,000, maybe 12,000. But since it's a totally new product with totally new, like everything is totally new, I'll say like we're succeeding if we get to half of the 10,000 now. But even 5,000 robots, that's the size of a Roman legion, FYI, which is like a little scary thought, like a whole legion of robots. I'd be like, whoa, okay. But I think we'll literally build a legion, at least one legion of robots this year, and then probably 10 legions next year. And I don't know, it's kind of a cool unit, units of legion. So probably 50,000-ish next year, and then it's probably ready I'm hopefully ready for Optimus to be used outside of Tesla-controlled environment, or maybe around the middle of next year, second half of next year sometime. So that's, I think that's probably sounds about right. Probably second half of next year is when they'll be available, and then we will offer Optimus robots first to Tesla employees. So you guys get the priority. There are some pluses and minuses to that, because it's probably have a few bugs, but it's going to be very cool. You'll want to invite your friends over and say, check this out.
And the people giggling, clapping and laughing, not realizing that these robots are for to bring forth your demise, man. You're literally watching a real life skit of Terminator, the movie Terminator. You see, and the people are so blind to the idea of the danger Okay, that comes with this artificial intelligence, man. These things will have the ability to adapt and learn. All right, to the point where they're going to supersede your understanding. They'll be able to outsmart you, man. All right, track you down, man. Okay? Hey, this is why this is why Daniel 12 is real. Let's go to Daniel. Let's close out with that. And we don't got to drag it out. Hey, you beloved Achiam and Akwaf with the spirit on you. You can clearly see the times that we're coming into. Okay? You can clearly see the scriptures coming to life now. You can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. But the world can't see it. This is why we're truly blessed, man. We see it. It's all starting to make sense now, man. And remember, Elon Musk, this was the same dude talking about, the hidden dangers behind this AI technology is something that the world has no idea. He wanted to stop the program. And now he's all for it all of a sudden. You see, because he got them threats. if you're picking up what I'm putting down. You see? But that information, them videos done came out. You may not be able to find them now. You see? But he was standing on the idea that the hidden dangers behind this AI robotics is astronomical, man. Okay? But this is what the Lord wants. In efforts to bring forth the worst times ever. And ultimately, so the Lord can show his power. You see? And so it can be shown that the Egyptians are flesh and not spirit. Okay? Let's go. Daniel 12:1, and it reads, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince. And at what time? The time of Jacob's trouble. Okay? You heard this dude talking about by next year, by there's going to be a legion, man. He's talking about bringing out legions, man. A whole legion, thousands of them, man. Think about it. Jacob's trouble is at the door. Okay, hey, they're gonna have these things patrolling the streets, man. Think about it. Amos 8:11 is at the door. We're coming into a time where the ministry is gonna be closed down. Okay? And we're gonna have to hunker down and be pilgrims on the earth and patiently wait for the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai to deliver us, man. Lord willing, we're preserved until that point. Okay, but we're coming into that time, man. You better believe that these RoboCops or what have you, and the robots in general are gonna be that's gonna be a main catalyst to one of the main catalysts to the trouble that's gonna be brought forth. You see how Esau gets down, man, with the drones on these other countries, these drone attacks. Come on, man. We know how Esau moves. Listen, this technology, these RoboCops are going to be that's going to be one of the main parts of this trouble we're going to come into. And of course, the Lord's going to bring forth other variables that we're aware of. Teeth of wild beasts. Famine's coming. Famine, that's right around the corner as well. That's going to be a major. Now, granted, Esau is going to be behind it, but it's the Lord that's behind it. You see, because it's a prophecy that must come forth. It tells us that many shall perish of famine, man. In 2nd Esdras. So that's gonna play out. That's gonna play out, man. And those that survive the hunger, I think it said, shall the sword destroy, man. You see that? That's enough. Let me get that. There it goes. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 22, and it reads, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. Okay, and what do you think that sword consists of, man? We know in its perfection is the missiles, but this is part of the sword. A deletion instrument. Okay? This is part of the sword, man. The modern day sword being the gun, the sword in its perfection being the missiles, and a deletion instrument, which can be anything in between the two. All right, even anything down, even down to a syringe, man. And we seen that play out back in 2019. But anyway, let's go back. The book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people." So divine intervention is going to kick in during the time of Jacob's trouble, and that's confident to know and understand. All right, Isaiah 59 and 19, that stand is going to be lifted, man. See? So Michael's going to pop up. There's going to be divine intervention taking place. All right? For the children of the Lord, for the children of thy people, which is the elect. Right? And there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, man. Right? Even to that same time. Because there's no other nation, no other empire, no other rulership was able to rule with this type of wisdom. All right, it tells us in the same chapter, Daniel 12, that knowledge shall increase, and we're seeing it at its climax. You see, no other kingdom was able to bring forth this type of technology. Right? Let's continue on. And at that time, no matter, let me read it again. Let me read it from the top. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. See? So you see the chronological order? The trouble must come, and efforts for deliverance to come. You see, everyone that shall be found written in the book, those are the ones that are going to be delivered. All right, those that are found written in the book. Okay, that book of remembrance. All right, you can read about. And what's that? Micah, the 3rd chapter. All right, Revelations, that book of life. You see, who's in that book of life? The elect. You see, their names are written in the book of life. They're foreordained, man. All right, to be delivered, preordained. You see, and those are the spirits that are going to be protected on this planet Earth, man. As Esau pursues his reign of terror, unbeknownst to him, playing in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, in efforts for the elect to be delivered, man. So yeah, we're coming into that time, Akiyam and Akwa. We getting close. We getting close. Prophecy is speaking loud and clear. All right, and it's playing upon tables, man. The writings on the wall. All right, the writings on the wall. Salvation draws nigh. Okay, it's about to get real out here, man. And we ain't gonna go nowhere fast if we don't got Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Fast as well as pray, Akiyam and Akwaf. Fast as well as pray. We going home soon. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwaf were edified. Shalom.